Hey everybody, so I was recording the video, I had a hiccup, uh, and so I had to basically start over. It also helped me regain my thoughts a little bit. So I wanted to talk about an aspect about Pokemon that I've been kind of dealing with for a while. Wait, I was doing the border of Beedrill. That's what it was. In which Pokemon recently is going a direction that I kind of both agree with and disagree with at the same time, and only time will tell if the thing that they chose is actually the right thing to do. I'm talking about going DLC instead of a full release. And we're going to talk about three aspects of it today. One was what was their reasoning for doing so? And I think I actually kind of know from my own kind of research into it. So, one of the things that was really interesting was watching one of my friends who is kind of a Pokemon fan, but he's kind of out of the loop now. He was kind of weirded out by the DLC thing because he's like, well, that's going to be weird because it's going to conflict with the third version coming this coming this winter. And then they didn't announce they were doing that, like, at all. And he's kind of confused because at around this time they would. And so it kind of got back to me of like, I was like, that's kind of weird. I went, yeah, it's because they're doing a DLC thing. And they're like, and he's like, yeah, but that's not really going to interfere with them putting out a new game. And there's, some stuff to this. One, it gives them a little bit of time to put out whatever they are bringing out next. So they have a little bit more time to work on it, which, something that people have been asking them to do instead of, yearly installments, to kind of take a step back and produce more spin-off content instead of mainline titles like every year. Because if you don't know, Pokemon goes on a 3-year cycle. They go to demonstrate it. It's first they have a main game, and then they have a third version, which is kind of like the main game, but it's significantly different. And then they usually have like a remake of an earlier one that is different, and sometimes even like a full spin-off. So we had Sun and Moon, we had Ultra Sun and Moon, and then we had Let's Go, Pikachu and Eevee. And, kind of weird. It's like, oh, this is a new game for the Switch. And then they put out Sword and Shield. And it's like, okay, so what are they going to do? And it's like, in total, like, they had done this a few times. Like, they had put out, Black and White, and then 2, and then they put out Heart Gold and Soul Silver, and then they put out X and Y, and then they did a weird thing in which they put out the remake then. Yeah, and they put a remake then, and then put another one another spin-off like right there. And you know, it was kind of weird. So when it came to this, they expected a third version to come out, and instead we got more DLC, and it kind of just added on to it. And when this was kind of the norm for a while, and then everything kind of just got jumbled up at some point, you know, it kind of looks weird. And, you know, it gives them a little bit of time for their next big installment by basically stretching this one out for as long as possible. I kind of like this. It's not the best strategy that they could have done, but it is definitely a band-aid on the system that they currently have, because a lot of people were clamoring for new Pokemon. They go, hey, we're bringing those old Pokemon back that you missed from the national decks being cut. Here they are. They're back into the game, and you're getting 2 DLCs with 100 each. Basically meaning that now at the end of it you have 600 out of 893 now? Also, I have no way to get Zarude, by the way. Because you were supposed to get him from going to see a movie. Yeah, good luck with that right now. But I'm also not one to like really like the collection aspect of Pokemon, but I did do it for this generation, so it would be nice to kind of get that final Pokemon and just leave it at that. But it is a special Pokemon, so I'll probably try to look into like how I can get one. So yeah, so doing this, and at first I was kind of weirded out as well, but I'm also kind of intrigued, basically, because I always like it when businesses yeah, I always like it when businesses try to do something new instead of just doing what they always do, I guess. And my biggest gripe with it was that, like, I wasn't like yelling as like this is a money grab, but I am always really concerned whenever someone does DLC for a game, instead of directly fixing a problem with the game. And it's either usually because they want money for the fix, or because, you know, they have to get compensated for some way to fix it, or they're just trying to get whatever money they have from what they were doing. And I kind of don't want to put either of those on Game Freak. The idea of like, oh, we're just trying to get money from the situation, but I am really curious of what they're going to do going forward. Now, if they do this again, where, like, imagine they put out a second run of DLC. So they have 4 in all, adding to the 400 that are missing for the Pokedex. So now there's all the Pokemon in there. Wait about like another year, full new title comes out, and the same sort of thing happens where they go only 400. And then with the DLC, we're eventually going to bring all those back in. At that point, I might be a little bit more concerned. Although I think concern is not really the word. It's more of I don't fully know if that's going to be sustainable. Because you may get money from a situation, but goodwill is a well that can dry up incredibly fast. And with all the stuff that's been going on because of the national debt stuff, it would not surprise me. You know, it would not surprise me if there were people that look at that DLC thing and don't immediately jump to as like, well, this is a Game Freak trying to just drain money out of the audience while they have the chance. I'd be surprised if there wasn't at least someone saying that. But I did want to say that I'm rather interested. Not in what they're doing now, but what they're going to be doing next. If they do DLC for later games, I'll think about it when the time comes. If they eventually just make Sword and Shield the platform for the Switch, just basically make it into a every like season you give like another $30 to like have another story update, that goodwill is gonna dry up incredibly fast because people are gonna start looking at it like kind of like people do Destiny and kind of go, I don't want to give you money because you always kind of ruined my sense of goodwill. I think I messed up the amount. It's no, it's the same. I just went over on that. Yeah, see, so yeah, you know, it's fairly interesting. I think the one thing that would actually be very helpful is spin-offs. And I think that is where they kind of went wrong in the DS era of games. Because there were significantly fewer spin-offs after Black and White 2. And I'm not saying that I only enjoy the game for the spin-offs, but I will say that my favorite experience playing Pokemon was not in a mainline game. It was actually in a Mystery Dungeon, which I am bringing the series back probably on Wednesday. Because this is probably going to come out on Monday because everything kind of got pushed around. So, at the end of the day, though, a good experience is what I want from Pokemon. Not really a competitive battling simulator. Kind of just want to run around with my Pokemon as teammates and do stuff. and then probably enjoy a story, probably enjoy some battles, probably enjoy collecting Pokemon, even if I don't end up getting all of them. I'm trying to find a good segue into this aspect, like honestly, but I think the best way to just state it is I will probably I am the type of person who likes Pokemon as a world, not really as a franchise. You may think that that's kind of a weird way to put it. It probably is, but at the end of the day, I like Pokemon. I don't. It's not really a. I like Pokemon as an RPG. I don't like Pokemon as a competitive esport. I don't like Pokemon as a collectible monster simulator. I like Pokemon as a universe, which is why I liked the anime a lot. I might actually do an episode of our anime podcast where we talk about One Piece. We might actually do the first 5 episodes of Pokemon as well at some point, but probably not immediately at this moment. Oh, by the way, yeah, I've gone to about Beedrill. Butterfree was the hardest one because I had to actually move around some of the colors to get it to look like this. So I had to actually go back to Blastoise and Wartortle to fix their colors to make sure. I had to start using striped wood for browns, which I'm going to be using on Weedle in a second. The little signs go all the way up to Pikachu. I'm gonna do the sprites up to there and then keep going. And one of the things that really interests me in Pokemon is designs, interactions, and the idea of Pokemon. And you may think that that's kind of superficial, where it's so you just like the idea of the world where a kid goes out and catches Pokemon and it's that. It was well, I kind of like any world in which the entire ecosystem of a world is just boiled down to one gameplay aspect. I just find it really funny, the idea of how exactly does anyone actually make money in this world? And the idea is, well, it's the same way you would do in real life. But the problem is that how does a trainer get money? And it's I was probably winning tournaments. I don't know. But either way, things in the Pokemon world always will interest me. But the thing is that there are people who like Pokemon for more definite reasons. And it would be a real shame if Pokemon as a series goes away because it stops attracting the main market, which is people who like to competitively battle and kids who like cute designs. Let me just pull up Weedle. Okay. Wait, I have to pull up, everything kind of scrunched into place. Okay. In case I mess up. Yeah, so still some of my favorite Pokemon games will always be Mystery Dungeon. And my favorite things to look into when it comes to Pokemon is Mystery Dungeon stuff. Maybe it's because I'm very superficial about what I like and I'm just there for the designs, but I like Pokemon. I don't play it because I like a battle simulator. It's a little bit more than that. But either way, I will mention that one of the good things that is actually coming out of the DLC is that we're getting more content. If what they're going to be doing is that they're going to be setting up a platform to launch DLC on, and they stay inside that environment, it's going to mean that the ecosystem of Pokemon is not going to be fractured by different releases. Like, what happened before is that it's like, okay, so we're gonna buy Sun and Moon. It's like, okay, Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon comes out. Everyone now has to immediately drop Sun and Moon regular, meaning that people that don't immediately adopt are going to be left by the wayside. And that's pretty sad, because it means that you have to collect everything again. You have to go to the story again. There could be problems with the new story. You could start getting frustrated because there wasn't too much of the new stuff that changed. There was too much of the old stuff that is no longer there. Stuff like that. People who are competitively battling, sometimes whole new systems will come out and you have to kind of adapt to it suddenly and quickly. There have been times in which whole strategies have to be thrown out because of things that they change between versions. And so if they keep everything relatively inside of one game, it means that on average, people are going to be staying in the area, even staying in one spot. With the DLC, like, you can go to a new area, you could catch old Pokemon again, but you don't need the DLC to get those Pokemon. All you need is basically a copy of the game, and an update will come through, and now you can play it. Sounds pretty good. And that is honestly like the best thing that could have happened to Pokemon. Now the fan base will not be split depending on which game they happen to be owning at that moment. And everyone is still in the same ecosystem. Is it a perfect solution? Probably not. There's probably a lot of issues that I am completely overlooking when it comes to this, and someone will tell me one day, like, hey, it's actually more like this, but you're just not paying attention because you're not on this specific. You're not paying attention to this aspect. I'm like, oh yeah, okay, that makes a little bit of sense, but I kind of wish that the thing that will come out of all this is more spin-off games come out. So instead of taking us out of the world, they give us new perspectives on different aspects of Pokemon. Like, for instance, like, I actually really enjoyed the stadium games. I enjoyed Rancher a little bit. Like I said, Mr. Dungeon is my favorite experience in Pokemon. Yeah. So it will be really nice to get spin-offs again, but they're gonna have to capitalize on that. They have to actually put the spin-offs out, and if they decide that they're not gonna be doing that during this, then I might get upset. Because again, this is the perfect time for them to do it. Like, if they're not gonna release mainline games, they might as well. And finally, the Beedrill. So I actually want to know. I don't usually like ask people for. No, I'm actually gonna do it. I'm gonna ask you, as a person who is watching this video, and have gotten this far into it. I want you to actually put your opinion on what your favorite experience in Pokemon has been, and let me know about my opinion, because I like knowing other people's opinion. So just tell me in the comments. I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.